Bitcoin is flatlining, but I want to show you, as you can see on the screen, we have Bollinger Bands and we're starting to get a squeeze. And I want to remind you guys again that you're going to have different patches at times where the market does slow down. But ultimately, what you got to understand is sideways is what creates the results. You could see the previous time within Bitcoin over here, we went through a slightly downward sideways phase and it created a big result. But what you got to pay attention to is you start to see how the bands start to squeeze at certain areas. And all of a sudden, once we start to expand out the band, we start to get the volatility. Now, guys, by seeing this over here, it's kind of reminding me as a nice little area that we see over here, where we hit a nice little zone. We had a little bit of a heartbeat that came at different times, but it slowed down completely. And in this time, it started to get a lot of people to lose interest within the market. And all of a sudden, market explodes. Guys, this is one of the big techniques that they use at many times in the market, where they get you to think that the crypto is dead, that there's not much happening at the moment. But what you got to pay attention to is the indicators are showing that there's a squeeze coming into play and there is a massive move coming. Now, looking at the amount that we have accumulated through this move, the next move should be around a $3,000 to $4,000 candle for Bitcoin. And it might happen in one day, might happen in 2 to 3 days at any single moment now. So I want to explain to you guys exactly what are these major levels. How do we know if it's to the downside? If it's a $3,000 Bitcoin, does that mean $26,000 is on the card? And does that mean that $33,000 is on the card to the upside? I'm going to show you exactly that. Plus, I'm going to be giving you guys the personal trades that I'm taking at the moment, as in Doge, as in a few different tokens that I'm taking for the competition. And I think that are good tokens to take if the market breaks up or down at any single moment. I'm going to show you where the strength's at right now. And we got to pay attention to dominance because there's a squeeze happening on dominance too. No more wasting time. Let's get into the show.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
Banter fam, hope you're having a fantastic day. How are we doing out there? Pop in the comments. How are you doing? Secondly, guys, if you are brand new to the channel, smash the subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Today, we're going to be speaking about a bunch of trades. Let's get ready for the volatility. Again, emotionally, we're getting to a point where the depression phase might be kicking in. Extremely boring, quite annoying, actually. You know, we saw yesterday, Bitcoin had a nice little push up on the 15 minutes or the 1 hour chart and then straight back down. And it's getting to that point now where it's just like completely flushing out. And for me, it's getting to a point in the market where this is the last bit, right? This is where they really, people that are in this market since the last bull market, and they held their guns. They got through 2 years of downside. This is like the last little squeeze to get them to quit. And basically, it makes sense to me now. Get rid of the interest, get rid of all of that, get volume, everything down to a low. Therefore, markets can move a lot easier and it can catch everyone unexpected. And everyone that got demotivated and kicked out of this phase end up coming later when the market's 20-30% up or 20-30% down. And therefore, they become late at any single moment. It's quite crazy. If Bitcoin had to fall to $20,000 now, do you know how many people will be trying to short it at 20,000? You know, if Bitcoin goes to 40,000, you know how many people are going to be wanting to long? So either way, a massive move is going to trap a whole bunch of people that are latecomers. And that's why you got to understand that they are going to slow it down and they're going to get to this irritable point where it's just annoying. And that's why you got to, whenever you are struggling in crypto right now, just go out a time frame. So if you're struggling and you're not getting right, go out. So if you're struggling on the 1 hour, you're trying to trade daily, it's not working, go to the 4 hour, trade once, twice a week. If you're struggling there, go once every 2 weeks. Struggling there, trade once a month. Just adjust to what's happening right now, because the market is going to set a tone or a direction at some point. And don't tire yourself out and get yourself beat up too much that you're going to basically quit. Work with the market and not against the market. Super important. It's offering a certain amount at the moment. It is being quite tricky, but you got to understand that they have to shake out and get out all the week with it throughout this specific phase, so we can restart the cycle. Super important. Then, guys, remember, we have the ByBit competition. So if we have a look over here, we are 21. Not bad, not bad. So for me, I've taken the strategy of very little trades at the moment. So I've only taken 3 trades in total. 2 of them got stopped. I'm currently built in a position. So let's go have a look. Just coming into the positive again, I had 2 stoppages that put me slightly down, but I want to explain to you the trade over here. So I took the Solana trade yesterday. You can see my little bit of charting that I was doing. We had this nice little trend come down and Solana took off. And for me, I'm paying attention to the Solana trade. I still think that when we went to $32, we left a nice big gap coming all the way back to 22. So for me, I'm looking to ride this bad boy up to 27. So I don't think there's the exact trade on this right now, but I'm going to be looking at giving you guys a few trades within the show, just updating you where I'm at the moment. You can see the position's really good, 95% up over here, but I did take a bit of a smack on the stop loss hit. So I'm going a little bit, you can see I'm zooming out and I'm trading a lot less. A lot of people are thinking trade every single day. It's not the best strategy right now. Best strategy is to sit back, allow the shakiness to happen, work your ass off to get your entry and get your stop loss to your entry, and just keep doing the same. And eventually you're going to hit your run, and then you can basically slow down. So I'm trying to go for a couple 100% trade, and therefore after that start to slow it down quite a bit. So just updating you guys on that. Okay, let's jump in and let's quickly have a look. I want to speak about the Bollinger Bands quickly. Nice little indicator for you guys to focus on right now. It basically just shows you when the market's getting to like a squeezing point. So as you can see, you got the 2 bands. So just go to the top to where your indicators are over here. Just type in Bollinger Bands and you'll get this nice little indicator over here, BB. And it's basically going to give you these bands. Now, I want you to pay attention to these bands on the daily, because it's a really nice little tool that you want to pay attention to when it squeezes. So basically what it does is it shows you when the range opens and when it gets to like a very sort of sad, boring spot, right? But what you got to understand is when the tokens or any coin is moving, you can see the range gets nice and big. And then what happens is it gets to a point where it stabilizes. So remember what I always said about in crypto, whenever the markets go stable or sideways, is actually the time to build positions. A lot of people think when the market's already moved, you build positions. No, you must build positions in the area of where it gets calm. And this indicator is going to show you the exact same thing. We can see over here, the range gets bigger, and then it gets to a point where it starts to flatline. And then you can see the bands start to squeeze. And as the band starts to squeeze, you're basically using these bands as support and resistance. As it starts to break the band at a certain point, it starts to expand. And you can see the main thing that just came from this over here is it explained that it started to squeeze to this point where you can see these nice little 2 edges. And therefore, after that, we started volatility and the market started to move. So you're always going to use this indicator as a nice little squeezing tool to see when the market's going to start expanding. And you can see over here, perfect. Big range, we started to squeeze. Therefore, after that, a massive move came through. And you can see the different times where it starts to squeeze, how you actually start to get the big volatility. Same over here, started to squeeze, we ended up getting a massive rejection. So looking at this, basically looking at where we are right now, look at that, guys. We are getting to a tight spot. So a lot of people think that Bitcoin's flatlining right now and it's being really dead. I think it's poising for a massive move. Now, you got to remember that all of this sideways over here creates a result, right? We had this sideways over here, as an example, created a result. This sideways over here created a result. So the longer you go sideways, the bigger the move. And if you look at how long this piece is over here, you can basically measure it that it's a very similar move to there. So the accumulation is a very important phase. You can see over here, here to here, created basically that result over there. Here to here, created this result. And you look over here now, we have another big accumulation stage. Plus, we have the band squeezing more than what they've squeezed many times before. You can see that we've had these squeezes, but we haven't had this tight of a squeeze for a very long period. So for me, it's indicating, and it's quite nice now to see how tight this range is starting to get. And for anyone that is struggling in crypto, if you use a simple technique, you're going to catch the next move. Now, remember, guys, end of the day, we want the market to go up. But we also understand that there might be a slight depression phase. So it does mean that, okay, maybe there is another shakeout or another little bit of slow grind to the downside that you got to be mentally prepared for. You got to get through this last phase in order to succeed for the bull, guys. This is the last phase you cannot get shifted out of. You fall behind here, it's going to suck because you're going to end up coming quite late. And I remember the time where I entered crypto and we just went through 2019. I only came in 2020 and Bitcoin was 10K and it fell to 4K. And for me, again, it was like, like this was the last point where many people quit within crypto. And literally 6 months later, Bitcoin is around 30K, 40K, you know, and that's what you got to understand where we're at right now. So the bands, according to the bands, it's basically saying that resistance on the daily right now is Bitcoin at 29,700. Okay, so it's basically 1% from where we are right now. Then you look at the bottom, it's saying 29,000 or 28,950 is support, also 1%. So guys, we're literally in a range of 1% to the upside and 1% to the downside. And that means at any moment we get 2% to the upside or 2% to the downside, that should start giving us the opening of the band and we should start accelerating to whichever direction that we basically look at. So now what you want to do is you want to say, okay, whoa, like this is getting to a really tight point at the moment. The second thing you want to pay attention to is this middle band over here as well, some sort of moving average, right? But what I like, I know we need those tinglies. I get it. Guys, I'm long. I'm there. You know what I mean? It's a frustrating market. I get it. But you can see I'm building my ass off. Like I literally built this bad boy to a 60. I started off with a 10 and I built it up. Like guys, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do this. But end of the day, I started off small and you could see all my buys. Buy. Look how I built it. I added even more this morning and break a trend. I keep building in these times. I'm going for the bigger move and I'm not getting shaken up by the small ones. Yes, I may get small stoppage. It doesn't matter. The big move I'm going to catch. And the reason why the big move is, again, it comes down to these bands. Let's just go back over here. There we go. So the next thing pay attention to is this orange line in the middle. So what tends to happen is when we squeeze, you might have a slight indication because yesterday we had another interesting candle on Bitcoin. We basically had this doji candle. Not doji, but this wick to the down, wick to the up, right? We ended up going up, ended up coming down, and we ended up closing just in the green. So again, you can see the little fight that's happening in this little band at the moment. But what you want to pay attention to is we finally flipped this orange line over the last few days. So what you don't understand is, yes, we've been having this little push to the downside of we'd squeezing and very boring and things like that. But this little orange line over here was resistance. And you could see we kept hitting it until the one day we did have that nice little push to the upside and just popped a wick through that little top of that band there. But the difference now is you could see that we're actually holding this as support. So this is a good sign at the moment. So again, what we want to see now is yesterday's candle should possibly be a reversal candle. And you want to now just crunch everything up and have a good understanding. If we go down and Bitcoin goes below 29K and it closes below that on the daily, it's very likely we're going to the downside. And I'll speak about the targets if that basically happens. And I'll show you how do you sort of prep your portfolio or how do you prep your buys or anything if that basically happens, okay? And then the bullish scenario as well is we hold this trend today. This candle goes green and we break the band to the upside. And that's that 29,000, basically where we topped out yesterday. We get through that, we're outside of the band. Now let's add some horizontals into it and let's understand what this basically means with horizontals. So if you look over here, we basically have right now the big nemesis for Bitcoin is the $30,400 level. It's an area where we've hit 1, 2, nearly 3, 4 times, right? So there's a lot of selling pressure. This is where the bears are trying to hold the ground, right? To stop Bitcoin to go to 40,000. And then what you have is the opposite side, which is support. The guys that are trying to stop Bitcoin from going to 25K, 26,000. So there's a very big fight happening out here at the moment. But what you got to understand is both walls have been tested many times. So ultimately, these walls are starting to weaken on both sides. So it's very likely that the next move that goes to one of these walls should actually possibly break through that wall. Now, maybe there is a scenario where it does go 1 or 2 more times, where it does this. Possibly. If that happens, then it's a humongous move that's being built right now. I don't think that's going to play out. But there definitely is the possibility. But it's also very likely that either one that we go test now, we're going to break. And then what you got to understand is not only are the Bollinger Bands explaining this at the moment, and what I like about the Bollinger Bands is it's actually zooming in a little bit more. Because if you go just on horizontals, you're waiting for this line to break or this one to break. But the Bollinger Bands are telling you slightly earlier. So you might have a nice little advantage of the rest of the market that are waiting for these horizontals to break at any single moment. Okay. Then what you got to understand is after that, you basically have the big gaps. So what these horizontals are creating is creating a range. And once you get, like, let's say the support over here, you got to say, where's the next line of support? And the next line of support is all the way down in these areas over here. So it's like, okay, so it's very likely the Bollinger Band breaks to the downside over here. It's very likely that we're going down to around 26 to 27,000. Then what you have is to the upside is this push over here. If we get through the Bollinger Band over here and we close outside the Bollinger Band, it's very likely we break here and we're going to go tempt those highs, if not smash them. Because when I showed you guys that this little range that we're focusing here at the moment, this is this current stage over here. But what you got to understand is previously we just fought another battle. So there's also another range that's sitting over there. And this range has also been tested a few times. It's literally been tested around 5 times to the upside. So it's very likely that if we do break to the upside, if we turn this into support here, we're going to go attempt this one. And again, who knows that this wall's not getting weakened at the moment too. And you might have the pop through this wall. And then all of a sudden we start looking around 35K, 40K sort of areas. So again, just use simplified things on higher time frames. Even though you're trying to trade smaller time frames, things like that's great. But use daily and use weekly to give you guys the trend set. And what it would basically indicate, it would motivate you today that yes, the markets are giving exactly what we want on shorter time frames. I get it. But it's going to motivate you to say that, whoa, stop sleeping. There's a massive move coming at any moment. And if you probably got to decide and you got to sit and think, what's the best way to make money in crypto right now is 1 or 2 trades a month. That's definitely one of the best ways to do it. I would day trade to keep warm, to not get rust. You know, a fighter, they say something, you get ring rust. When you don't fight for a couple of months and then you get put into the ring rust. So don't get rust, because rust is a real thing in crypto. So the only day trading you're doing right now is to keep warm. To keep warm, so when the market explodes, you know what you're doing. Because how many of you guys take a break from trading, come back and struggle? Many. I did it. I just went through that patch now, and I'm starting to get through that patch again. So that's where you should be focused. So a lot of people are putting unnecessary money in day trading right now. It's not there just yet. Guys, the market may break this band tomorrow, and then day trading is perfect. But right now, any day trading is to keep warm and start playing a lot more safe and start, again, be the boss of your money and start having strong structures in play that you start looking at these things. So put this over here, definitely indicating that at any moment now, possibly this week, if not in the next day or two, that there's a God candle coming, a big candle. And it's probably going to set the trend for the next 2 to 3 months, to be honest. Because if we do go down to 26, I think we stay there for a little while. I think we stay in this downtrend for a little while. For the next month or two, we get the daily RSIs down to the bottom, because you could see here, daily sitting in the middle. Let's go have a look at weekly. Weekly sitting in the middle. So you could see that these bands, if you look at them on the daily, it's saying a move. And then you look at the RSIs and you're like, holy shit. Okay, so whichever one we break, it's basically indicating on the weekly that this is going to come here or this is going to come here, which basically gives us an indication that this might be the move that takes us all the way to October, the direction that we should possibly be going in that time. So it's a big moment right now. It's a big moment to see that, are we going to still chase 40K for this year? Or maybe that comes in November or December. Or are we going to go down to low 20s? Is that depression phase when it comes to the market cycle actually true? So it's very important to pay attention to that. Now, I want to give you guys a quick trade. So Doge, again, the reason why I'm saying Doge again is yesterday someone market bought, and you can see it over here. You can see this big wick. So I want to show you guys this, and I want you to use this as a nice little experiment and things like that. Is when you see wicks like this is like a market execution. Someone big came in and bought, okay? And therefore, there wasn't much selling pressure or anything there, and it created this massive push to the upside. People then FOMO'd in and started to sell in that, okay? Now, it didn't continue that direction straight away, and it doesn't usually. When something moves too fast, it ends up leaving imbalance. So what happens is price comes down to these areas again, and then the same guys who are buying the area possibly load up, or anyone that sees these sort of tests. But what I'm trying to explain here is we actually go up and fill these gaps probably 7 out of 10 times. That when you create this big wick over here, okay, it basically means market execution. Someone was buying, and at some point price will slowly go up to these areas and go fill that, or this was someone knew something, loaded up for another possible big move to the upside. So Doge for me at the moment is the smaller time frame view, and the probability of us going and filling this gap over here is pretty high. So for me, this is a great trade. So I think price is going to come down a little bit more for the day. I think there's another 1% or 2% down for the day within tokens. I think it comes between around about the 7.4, very similar to where we're at right now. I put a stop around the 7.350. So guys, for anyone in the competition or anything like that, again, I'm trading Doge and Solana. I'm sticking to the same tokens. I'm not shifting too many because again, you gotta chart a coin for a few days in order to trade it really well. Very important to understand that you don't just come in and just trade a token extremely well. So for me, this is one that moves here. And if we look at risk from right now, you're looking at around 1%, so not too bad. If you get it slightly lower, around 0.5%. So risk is really good when it comes into the risk to reward. And then my first reward is around 77. Okay, but I do think that we actually break this band to the upside. So you can see we're starting to get a sort of squeeze over here too when it comes to this line, and we're sitting right on support right now. So for me, if we bounce here and we shoot through here, I actually think we break it. And for me, I'm prepping up for the trade that takes us to around 7.8, if not to the 8-cent mark. So again, this is some trading in the day, and I'm looking at the right structural coins that are giving me the best risk to reward right now. But I'm also taking this wick into account that was interest. Remember, you got a $10 billion or $9 billion market cap, and someone's moving this thing like 5%. No, it's not. It obviously comes down to the 24-hour trading volume. At the end of the day, this was big money. So what's happening there? What's happening? And I still feel that something's going to happen with X, and maybe Doge is going to be possible payments, something in that sort of category. I know there's a massive move coming over here. And again, I'm using the last line of support over here as the entries, as this is really good risk to reward ratio when things come in. Dol, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
Well, I'm getting the rest here. Do you want to pop through a little bit of your updates there quickly? And then I'm going to go through the rest of the alts.
Cool, man. I'm just looking at, same as you, similar areas up, areas down. I'm just trying to plan for this move that's coming. Like, things are very tricky at the moment. We saw BTC break above that 29.5 yesterday. Hold support for maybe an hour or two. Everyone got excited. And what did they do? They just came for us again. So there were a lot of stops all over the place. And now, just plotting these levels.
Let's see your charts, bro. Okay.
And obviously, it's all about 𝗏𝗏 and Rune right now, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely chat about those. Those are big ones.
So obviously, I mean, we know a lot of guys around here in the office, and wherever you see it, everyone's trying to short Rune. It's the most crowded trade in the room right now. Everyone thinks we're going to get the short, and it just keeps squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. So what I'm trying to show you guys here, this is a weekly chart on Rune. The first area that I kind of like, where we should get a reaction, is this weekly resistance zone at 1.7. So I'm interested in that area to start looking around. I don't want to play around with shorts here. I just got a feeling, this thing can pump again when you least expect it back into the zone here. So I'm watching that. So I'll maybe try and grab something up there. Tight stop. It won't be a massive position, but I'll probably have a go in that area. 𝗏𝗏, same story. Look at this thing. It blew up off the 618 down here. It was a little 618 pullback and then pumped. Hitting some resistance here now, guys, which is quite interesting to me. So keep your eyes on this zone. I want to see if we can, what type of fight it has in this area.
Yeah, be very careful with chasing this one, but it shows you the potential. Yeah. It shows you when you find a coin that's weekly at the bottom on the RSI. And I'm pretty sure if you put Bollinger Bands on there, it would have squeezed. It would have squeezed heavy at some point, and volatility came into play.
Yeah. If we zoomed out, you'll definitely pick that up. I mean, this thing was accumulating. Everyone forgot about 𝗏𝗏 for so long. They announced the deal, and now it hasn't stopped. And then everyone's jumping in trying to short it. So this is a zone of interest to me. Look for it to run out of steam, see how it performs in the 7.6 area. And then we've got a little area a little bit higher. But again, don't try and jump in front of a moving train. Let it slow down first. There's no rush to catch these things. Often you get the move up, pulls back down, then they try one more time, you get the double top. That might be your opportunity. So keep your eyes on that one. Render's holding the support. It broke into this the old range from a couple of weeks ago. Bouncing here for now, so I'm just tracking this little render here. Any moves down to 1.7 I quite liked as a support buy, tied in with BTC. BTC loses these areas, everything's coming down, guys. So always 1 eye on BTC, but I like the support zone for render. Doge you've covered. Injective's an interesting one.
I was actually looking at it.
It's been flat. But look at it now. We got a 618. We got a trend. I think there's some Lux Algo order blocks sitting here as well. A little bit lower down, 6.2. We got the 200-day, 786, and horizontal. So these are two areas of interest to me. Never mind this trend where it might be bouncing right here. So, you know, something to watch here. If BTC turns bullish, I think Injective might be a nice one to play. You can also just play that break and push up. Otherwise, look for moves into these areas if BTC starts dropping to those levels Sheldon was mentioning earlier. Link's looking a little bit tired. Let's try it again. It had a 618 bounce the other day. It's tried again. It's now lost it. So I'm eyeing out this region again that we spoke about a couple of weeks back. It's the 200-day, 382, and there's a horizontal zone. So, you know, I'd like to see a bounce here for Link. That's where I'm interested. More BTC weakness down here, 6.2, guys. Maybe mark that in on your charts as a possible area if BTC starts losing some levels.
I just want to add in here. Let me also just give this quick, guys. So just remember, go to our Discord below. You're going to get all the show charts and all that stuff, but then you're also going to get trades for the competition. So here's another one that I'm lining up here too, is a theta trade. So I've been focusing now. There's a great theta 4-hour candle that's just formed now, and it's just started to break these trends. And I looked at the previous trend. We've broken it, and risk to reward's amazing here. So it'll be a lower leverage trade, but a 2.5% risk for a 20% gainer over here. And I'm just taking profits at around the 200-day moving average. So this will be going in the competition as well, the charts that you'll find on the competition link. So go to Discord below there as well. And then, guys, join CoinW. So you can receive a $60 bonus with no deposit and no trading volume required. Yeah, so CoinW is offering, guys. So this is for the US guys. Guys that want to trade, leverage, all these sort of things. No KYC needed. Yeah, so go below and join CoinW, great exchange, one of the great sponsors of the channel, and use the Sniper School one as well. We have Sniper School coming up, next cohort. Go below, sign up with that, and you can get into Sniper School. Just deposit $100 that you get to trade with within the course and come and join. So we have CoinW. Go, Dol.
Yeah, so I've got DOT in front of me as well. Simple, you know, we're seeing a lot of these alts once again sitting on these support zones. You know, like Theta is a great trade. I might actually join you on that one. But DOT, same as Render, sitting on the support 4.95. BTC stays flat here. DOT should creep its way up. BTC loses a level. We know we're coming down 4.8. So mark that area. It's 3% either way. Matic, I'm a little bit tired of Matic. I don't know how you feel, but you know, I'm interested in Matic around 655. Down this area here.
So if I must be honest, while you bring that up now, guys, I feel at the point, if you're sitting with any sideline cash, and this is what I'm doing personally, is I'm taking 50% and I'm deploying into all of these for spots and for long term. Like all these things, when they're dead, where they are right now, I'm keeping 50% in case it goes cheaper, in case Bitcoin does go to 26 retest. But for me, I'm loading up on higher time frame and spot accounts right now. It's like we're at this dead point. You just said it, Matic, everything. I'm tired of it. I'm dead. I'm all these sort of things. For me, it's like, again, emotionally, we're at that point where I should be adding to my portfolio. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, I mean, some of them are just feeling so flat. I mean, yeah, we had a nice bounce with Uni, guys. And I mean, you caught this trade down here. Looking a little bit bearish now, so I wouldn't rush into Uni. AVAX, another one. Like everyone's losing interest in this thing. You know, is it done? I'm feeling the same way as Matic, and it's still sitting around in the 618. It's so annoying. And I just feel the minute BTC sneezes, this thing's going to either shoot down to this 11.2, or if BTC pops now, we could get a big move out of AVAX. You know, it's just been sitting here, ticking along. Comp is another one we spoke about yesterday. Didn't quite get this entry yet. I don't want to say never, but you know, this is still an area of my main interest, this 47.48. But it was interesting, guys. A little double bottom here. We had that pullback yesterday, and comp hardly got affected. So maybe keep this on your watch list. You can bang in a little trend line on lower time frames, and keep your eyes on that. You know, this is 8 hours, so obviously not very exciting. Here we go. So there's a little trend line there for comp you can watch. Keep your eyes on that one. GRT, we had this nice move yesterday, big candles, and BTC came for us again, but it's bounced off the trend. So I'm tracking GRT again. I want to see it break up here. I want to see it reclaim this area and then start a move up there. 𝗟𝗏𝗏 Gaming feeling a bit tired again, eh? Just floating around the 618. No real action at the moment here. I've got
It's all going to come down to the Bollinger Bands, like the breakage of Bitcoin. So it's you take all your coins, you go look at where's the next supports, where's the next resistances, and either direction Bitcoin moves now, it's going to be a mega move. Like there's going to be a massive move at any moment now.
Just got to be in front of your screens for it. You want to catch these things, and you want to catch them in those levels there. Because if we hit these bottom areas, they're going to bounce pretty hard. So you've got to be ready.
That's very true.
It's looking tired again. Trend support. So we don't want to be too bearish on support regions. But if we lose this trend, I'd expect it to come down, hit the support bounce, and then maybe continue lower. Otherwise, we're moving up from here, and you can pull a trend out there and track the trend, trade that trend.
Yeah, another token just to add there. Let me just present my screen again. Again, I just want to remind you guys that Ape is retesting from yesterday. So again, this is such a great weekly one over here. Like this for me, spot, I'm loaded up. I'm not really worried about short-term trades on it, but this RSI just leaving the bottom. I just saw 𝗨𝗏𝗏. I just saw the coins and the levels that they broke, and I think this is a nice one to the upside and a possible 100%. So myself, I'm loading up on this one. Then guys, I just want to give one more shout out quickly to another sponsor that we have, which is iTrust Capital. iTrust allows you to buy and sell crypto, gold and silver with the individual retirement account, your IRA, guys. Is only available for individuals in the US. If you have an existing IRA, you can transfer over part of your USD through iTrust and then invest that on the platform into crypto or precious metals. Guys, incredible. Like for me, it's diversifying, and we actually love they's guys. We love that they're thinking of things differently, and they've survived a lot. A lot of people that provided these things have not survived. So it also says if you got a 401k retirement plan through your employer, then you can transfer this to a traditional IRA without any taxable fees. Guys, you want to go do some research on this about the taxable, like just go have a look and then invest a portion of this into crypto. So use the link below in the description, find out more about investing through iTrust. There's a Sheldon referral link below and go and join. Cool. Go there, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Just had to give a quick shout out. I love these guys. I had a call with them, and they're super incredible people. Really, really, really nice people and good vision. And they've survived. A lot of people got hit, but they've survived strong, and they got good hearts. So go have a look, guys.
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I know there's talk about 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. What's going on at the moment? I mean, they were talking about it this morning on the research call as well. Definitely some action there with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah, the meme tokens are definitely coiling up. Again, there's going to be a massive move, bro. There's just no doubt about it.
So yeah, 200-day MA, keep your eyes on that as a support. Coming into resistance up here. So if it pushes up, just guys, be aware. If you long here and you push into this, it is a rejection or a resistance zone. So you want to take something off the table. So just watch out for that. If you are long, support 200-day MA. And this 382 down here, I quite like as a support zone here for a bounce.
Amazing, bro.
Cool, man. So yeah, again, just watching these areas, waiting for something to happen here with BTC. Things have been very choppy, guys. If you're getting stopped out, don't get despondent. It happens to everyone. The market hasn't been playing very nicely. And like Sheldon was saying, maybe it's time to just trade a little bit less. Focus on the higher time.
Just keep warm. Just keep warm. Yeah. That's the big thing. Discord, go below and join Discord, as we're going to be dropping a lot of things. We got a lot of cool updates coming. Like, you're going to absolutely love what's coming to the Discord at the moment. So go there so long. There's a bunch of trades there. Take them, keep warm. And again, when this market moves, guess what's going to happen? We're going to start trading a lot. We're going to start nailing the calls. And then these views are about to rocket through the roof, and we're probably going to hit a crazy, crazy, crazy run. So stay focused on that and stay healthy on that. Thanks, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Cool, guys. Later.
Thank you, brother. Guys, go follow 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 below. Go there. His Twitter is below in the description. Have a fantastic day. Let's wait for some action. Use those Bollinger Bands. Put them in. If we start to lose the bottom band, start preparing. Tighten some stop losses on trading portfolio. And we break the top. Make sure your positions are in. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, Bands fam.